don't need to pray for an awakening to happen in America. We are the awakening. We are the awakening. You're an awakening on your job. You're an awakening to your family. You're an awakening to your friends. Somebody shout, I am an awakening. In my own version, I'll put it to you like this. He says, Moses, I'm about to take you to do something great. Moses, I'm about to take you and you're going to be a part of history. You're going to make history, Moses. You're going to do things in me that nobody has ever read about. I feel a spirit of prophecy here right now. You're going to do things that people look forward to. You're going to be a part of prophecies fulfilled. And you're going to do it leading a group of people in the same area of your biggest mistake. You're going to lead people in the same, can I put you this way? You're going to lead people in the same areas of your life that you'd rather not talk about. Because Moses, some people will not believe until they see your wounds. That's what trauma says. Trauma says, I don't want to just hear your words. It says, I want to see your wounds. Like Thomas. People call him Doubting Thomas, because isn't that how people are? They judge your life based on one moment. He wasn't Doubting Thomas. He was the same guy that told Jesus, let's go, we'll die with Jesus. But when life hits you hard enough, even those great in faith will doubt. Thomas, the translation of his name Didymus, means twin, because you and I see the healthy side. But if we would be honest to ourselves, I got a twin that lingers around that isn't always full of faith. And he says, I won't believe in the resurrection unless I put my hands in his side and I touch the wounds. And Jesus shows up and lets him see the wounds and invites him to embrace them. Because even Jesus realized that there's some people of faith that just won't believe and take steps forward in their life unless they see the wounds of what God has brought you through. Let's all stand. What if the place you wish you could forget is the same area you're going to help people find freedom? Don't let the suit and tie that I have on fool you. It hasn't always been like this. I got in a whole lot of trouble growing up. In fact, when I was in high school, so much trouble that the people that worked there let me know right before my senior year, based upon the choices that you have made, you cannot come back here next year. I know what it's like to just be so involved in partying, got so involved in drugs, got so involved with alcohol, miserable with my life, got to the point that I sold drugs. I know you're probably thinking, you probably should not be preaching right now. It is what it is. It is what it is. And God came and found me in my apartment that I lived in at the time. I know a lot of people say, I found Jesus. No, he came and found you. And I was sitting in my apartment, and I can't tell you that I was praying. In fact, I was smoking weed. But I'm thankful we have a merciful God that says, I'm not going to let that thing push me away from you. I'm going to come after you anyways. And I thought to myself, if I died right now, I knew I wasn't going to heaven. And I thought to myself, I can't die right now because I did not live a life of purpose. Ladies and gentlemen, I know what it's like. I know what it's like. But I know what it's like to be in the world like that, but I also know what it's like to be a child of God in fight. Listen. I know what it's like to fight the beast of crippling anxiety. I know what it's like. I know what it's like to sit on a platform when you're preaching and about to walk off because you're about to have a panic attack. I know what it's like. I know what it's like. But we can't bury this stuff. We owe it to ourselves to see how the story is supposed to end. Don't bury your bruises. Don't bury your brokenness. Because there's opportunities that surround us. I used to go out to West Pearland, and I would go out and talk to people. Random people, they thought I was crazy, and that's fine. I loved them enough to not worry about how they thought about me. I used to go out. I didn't have a lot of knowledge. I didn't know a lot of scripture, but I had a story. And I would just go up to random people walking into Target, and they're just trying to come probably and see Chip and Joanna Gaines and stuff and leave. Well, it was a little bit before that. And I would just talk to them. This random guy. Can I tell you, just talking to these random people, I baptized multiple people as a result of those random conversations in a hot tub and in a pool. But what did it do? What did it do to me? It wrecked my world. And it haunts me. Because every time I go into Walgreens now, every time I go into HEB, every time I go into Target, all I'm doing is I'm reminded all the time, Lavelle, remember these people. You remember, you've talked to these people before, and they could be one conversation away to saying yes to Jesus. They could be one conversation away for coming back home again. How does this start? How did this start? I'm about to call us to pray. How does this start? It's reported that when Gypsy Smith came to a new town to preach the gospel, he sometimes stopped on the outskirts and drew a circle in the dirt. Then he would step inside the circle and ask the Lord to begin a revival in that town, beginning with the man in the circle. Someone asked him one time, how do you be used by God? How do we have revival? How does things grow? Gypsy Smith replied, find a piece of chalk and find an empty room. Go into that room, shut the door, draw a circle on the floor with the chalk, kneel down in that circle, and ask God to start revival right there. Josh, you wrecked my world with that story you told me about your mom. I'll never forget it. I can't shake it. As you know, Josh Garcia, our next gen pastor, his parents, they pastor over in Wisconsin. But there came a point, the church wasn't growing as they felt like it should. It wasn't the reaching the potential that they felt that it had. But one day they had service, and Sister Garcia said, we're stopping service right now. We're leaving. She said, this church is leaving the building right now. And she said, you know what? In fact, we're not going to come back into service until we have an unsaved person that is here back in the church. What would happen? What would happen if everybody in this room here right now said, you know what? I am not going on vacation until I get my first Bible study scheduled. I am not going about business as usual until I schedule an opportunity to share my story and to share my testimony. I'm not going to, because revival starts with me. We don't need to pray for an awakening to happen in America. We are the awakening. We are the awakening. You're an awakening on your job. You're an awakening to your family. You're an awakening to your friends. Somebody shout, I am an awakening.